everyone. All right, so it's the next day after I hung up those string lights, as you can see behind me. And today I'm gonna work on the yard a little bit more. I don't really know how I'm gonna weave all of this together into one video or a couple videos, but so basically I need to figure out where to put a bunch of dirt that has been sitting in my wheelbarrow ever since I dug the holes to lay the pavers. I need to free up the wheelbarrow because on Wednesday I'm getting 5 cubic yards of mulch delivered. And so next weekend I'm gonna need the wheelbarrow, and shoveling mulch is, I'm sure, going to be a lot of work. So I don't want to add to my work by piling on emptying out the wheelbarrow. So I'm gonna do that. And my plan is to empty the mulch where I took some of the pavers and the square paper things that were next to my shed from the previous homeowner. And they had just a lot of bricks and random stuff over there. So I'm gonna clear out all of the bricks that are currently still there, just some older bricks, and they were clearly trying to block underneath the shed from being accessed. Yeah, so they were trying to pile things up so that things wouldn't live under there. Yeah, I just need to put the dirt where the pavers and stuff were, because right now it's just muddy, vacant ground right there. And it's kind of on a slope, and I want to kind of level it out because my main goal is to, while I still have that shed, because it's pretty old, and it feels not very stable. I do think it would be really nice to have a little potting bench right next to the shed. Putting it on uneven ground would just, not make a lot of sense. And I just didn't really have anywhere else to put this dirt. Hopefully, eventually, I can get rid of that shed because it's also kind of in the middle of the yard. And I would just rather have my shed in the corner, out of the way, and then yeah, there's just this blank area behind the shed that you can't really do anything with, and that also has a really clear view of my neighbor's deck and stuff, and they're always out there, so I just feel like I'm being watched if I'm over there. And speaking of feeling like I'm being watched, I really like recording what I'm gonna do out in the yard inside, because I just don't really want to talk about that outside, because yeah, my neighbors are just always out there, especially on that side. And then what's actually really nice right now, this other neighbor, she is getting ready to move across the country and she's going to list her house, but I've been kind of house sitting for her for the past month, and her house, her side door directly faces my patio area and her kitchen window with her kitchen sink. It's I can see it, how it looks, because I've been going in there and watering her plants and stuff. Yeah, it's just looking right there in my backyard. And I knew that, but actually going in the house and seeing just how not private my yard feels is pretty eye-opening. I do hope that when she sells the house, whoever buys it, maybe they don't like to be outside as much. That would be nice. But also I'm hoping that they'll want to build a privacy fence and they'll just build it, and then I won't have to worry about, feeling the lack of privacy. And her house is up higher a little bit too, so it's not things need to be pretty tall for it to be private. A lot of what I'm doing is really to make mowing my lawn a lot easier, and then the other part of it is I'm really trying to prepare for I just want to have hedges for sure on the sides of my yard for privacy reasons. And the way my yard, it's the house is kind of on a hill, and then as the yard goes back, it slopes down. And so when you're down at the back end of the yard, people up at my neighbors' houses are up at a higher plane. And so any sort of fence, it's just not really going to give you much privacy because of their vantage point. And so yeah, I just want to be able to control my hedges and how high they're going to be and how much privacy they're going to give me. So this is the first step. Well, maybe not the first step, because I have kind of started hedges on the one side, but this other side, yeah, there's just a bunch of grass. This step was basically to make mowing easier, because it's just really annoying to have to mow so close to that line. And then yeah, those neighbors are just outside all the time, and so I just feel really weird mowing right next to the fence when they're sitting out there on their deck. So 5 cubic yards is a pretty decent amount of mulch. But doing the measurements, I think it's really only going to fill in that entire line, that run of the fence on the side of the house. I don't know that I'm gonna get any more out of it. I do already have mulch all along the back, the very back side of the yard. But weeds are starting to go through because I bought bagged mulch, and it was just like my car couldn't hold that many bags. Like it would really weigh down the suspension, and I drive an old car anyway, so I just wasn't comfortable like piling so much into my car. So I laid it pretty thin back there. So obviously light is getting through and weeds are starting to grow back. So I've got to tackle that at some point. And yeah, I just need to do it like little by little. And I was really kind of like not nervous, but like I'd never ordered mulch from like a company before that like drops it off in your driveway. So I just like didn't know what to expect. And I didn't know like how much mulch, like I just didn't know what the pile was gonna look like. And my driveway is pretty small too, so like I was just worried about like it spilling over because like my driveway kind of like it's like pretty much at the edge of my property line. Like there's maybe like a foot, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to tell where the property lines are. Yeah, then I was just worried that it would like spill over into their yard, and he like keeps his front yard really pristine, and so I just didn't want to like be an annoyance. But okay, it cost me like $200 to get 5 cubic yards of mulch and then get it delivered as well. So that was a pretty good deal. I called like 3 different companies. The highest one was like almost $300. So the second one was like middle of the road. And then yeah, this one was $208. So I went with these guys and we'll see how that works out. I think I just need to, well, obviously that's what I'm doing. I'm just doing things in gradual steps. And honestly, like I have done a ton of work on the yard myself too. So I feel like sometimes I like think that I haven't really done it since I haven't been the one to like seed the lawn, but I just don't have time for that in this day and age. I just don't have time for it. So I'd rather pay somebody to do it. So I'm gonna change because this is one of my favorite shirts and I don't want to get it muddy. I'm gonna change and then I'm gonna start shoveling dirt out of that wheelbarrow next to my shed. So I'll see you out there. Okay, just trying to figure out like what's under here. Some like really old bricks. Those bricks do look really cool, but I think I'm just gonna leave them there for now. Whoa. I did not realize I was recording, but like I literally have sweat on my face right now. Like, my face is sweating. That doesn't normally happen. I feel like it's like really humid out there. Ooh, just wanted to give a little update here. This is turning in to be a little bit more work. Ella, why are you freaking out? Do you need to go outside? Okay, hold on. Oh my god. Oh my god, those birds. I don't think they saw me here. Okay, so taking a break because I was literally dripping sweat and just wanted to drink some water and give a little update. So things are taking a little bit longer than I had planned, just because as I started like really looking at the situation next to the shed, so there's basically a layer of like plastic, looks like a like black trash bag almost, like not weed barrier, just like black plastic is laid down, and then they had like pavers and then like an outline of brick, and then there's just like I don't know if it's like something that you're supposed to build a shed upon. It's like this like cinder block type thing, but it's really thin, and like there's clearly some in the corners of all the shed, like corners holding it up, but then there was just like some extra ones, and then the people that lived here previously had tried to like block off the access from the like underneath the shed from like animals and stuff in just like a really haphazard way. So what I've got to do, I just like picked up all of the brick, and then there was actually like a ton of brick shoved underneath as well, which it wasn't supporting anything. So I pulled all that out as much as I could see, and then there's a bunch of wood under there too, which is kind of annoying because like it's just like rotting and getting eaten by termites, which isn't great. So now I think my process is gonna be, I've got to pull up like the rest of like the black plastic, and then I've got to, I want to kind of level the ground directly underneath the shed also, or like at least like step it down so that when I lay like the bricks and stuff underneath it to like prevent animals and stuff from getting underneath there, it'll be more like straight and in a line and just look a little neater. So yeah, I've sorted out all the bricks, which there are some like older bricks which look really cool, which I don't want to use there. So I've like sorted out all the bricks that I want to use to like hide that gap, and then I've got to pull up all the plastic, and then I've got to like even the ground so that I can lay the bricks and like cinder block things so that they all look even and nice underneath there. And then I'll focus on leveling out that ground where like the pavers and stuff were, where it's just dirt now. Gonna get back out there in a minute. Okay, so far I've made like a little dirt mound, and I'm just trying to fill in those cinder blocks first. Okay, so here's what I've got so far. Okay, I've got the one side that I was worried about filled in with 4 more cinder blocks, and then I only needed, there was like a weird small cinder block type thing. So that's all filled in, and now I just have to move all the rest of the bricks kind of out of the way of that area, and then fill in what's left of the dirt in the wheelbarrow. And then I think I'm gonna lay down some landscape fabric just to help keep out some weeds until I'm able to put the mulch down. Yeah, so that'll just make the going a whole lot easier when I've actually got the mulch in my possession. I'd say I feel pretty accomplished with what I've done so far. I'm just resting here in the shade now, but this is the end result for today at least. I moved that plant over to the left side just because I felt like it was getting kind of sunburned over there on the right. And then once I get the mulch, I'll mulch over that, and eventually I'm gonna mulch like to connect all of this. But I don't think I'm gonna have enough mulch for that because, yeah, that's basically what I'm gonna mulch all along that whole side there. And I still need some more cardboard too to like kill the grass down there, but yeah, eventually all the mulch will be connected. It looks a whole lot neater than it did, at least. So I just pulled up in my driveway, and yeah, that doesn't look great. The fact that it's like in the side of my house, like the cracks right there, and then it's like kind of into my neighbor's yard. So could they not have like pulled forward a little bit and spread it out? Like long ways, not wide ways. I'm on my lunch break right now at work, and I don't have time to like fix it. I hope my neighbor doesn't get mad at me, but I do not feel that well today, and I cannot do that right now.